Thank you, Anthony. All this week on Today in St. Louis, we are saluting the men and women who serve to keep our country safe.
And to tell these stories, we have enlisted our very own Brandon Morano, who is currently a member of the Illinois Air National Guard. Now, Brandon joins us live this morning, but Brandon, before we get to the story that you did on someone else, we want to know what made you join the service and why you chose to serve.
Hey, good morning, Allie. Yeah, it's a question that I've thought about for a while, and my grandpa was actually served in the Army during World War II. My great-grandpa, rather, and then my grandpa was actually in the Air Force shortly after the Korean War. So it's kind of been something that's always been in my family, and I guess I just wanted to be, part of something a little bit bigger than just myself and help, protect people that may not be able to protect themselves. Now, speaking of serving, I recently went to Germany, and on my deployment I went to the Netherlands where I met Marcel and Matild, and they run a museum in Clermont, Netherlands. Now, he was just 10 years old when the Germans came through when the Allies came through and liberated his town from the Germans. He's 85 years old now, and he's dedicated his life to collecting items from the war, building his own replicas, and sharing that passion with his wife.
At this cozy house in Clermont, Netherlands, you'll find a unique love story.
Marcel was never married before me. He always said, no wife, no kids, no trouble. That's what he said.
That was until he met Matild, who moved in with Marcel after a car accident.
All the family at the same time, the same day. 3 kids.
The 3 kids in one day, yeah, that's true.
But Marcel and Matild Schmitz, also known as the M&Ms, share more than just their love for each other.
I'm much younger than him, so I didn't know nothing about World War II. And then he began to tell me the stories about the civilians, about the Germans, about the Americans, about the cemetery, about the airplanes.
Marcel's other love is American service members, especially World War II veterans who liberated his town from the Germans when he was 10 years old.
The soldiers did their duty, and our duty is at least to remember.
So Marcel and Matild started the Remember Museum, featuring thousands of original World War II items Marcel found as a child and thousands more donated from veterans he and Matild have met along the way.
It's really a labor of love for the Americans.
Thanks to Marcel's personal collection and donations from all over the world, the M&Ms now have one of the largest private collections of World War II items in the world.
It's not about uniforms, about guns, it's not even about units, it's about the human beings.
And Matild and Marcel have even hosted veterans from St. Louis.
And Americans don't understand how much we love the Americans. That love is still there.
Love for a country thousands of miles away, thanks to a marriage that was anything but expected.
So easy to forget, but I think we don't have the right to forget.
Now, the museum's only open to the public on the first Sunday of every month, but members of U.S. military and veterans can call and make an appointment anytime. But guys, what makes this whole experience really unique is sitting down in the kitchen with Marcel and Matild, sharing a beer and waffles that Matild makes fresh for us when we come in.
Wow, that's one of the first things I noticed was the beer, the cold beer. That must have been really yummy. What a neat experience, and thank you for sharing their story. And Brandon, this is just the first of many stories that you're going to have all throughout the week.
So Brandon, what can we expect tomorrow?
Yeah, we've got one every day. Tomorrow I'm going to introduce you to some men who chose to defuse bombs for a living. Now, it's one of the most extreme and dangerous jobs in the military, and it takes a special type of person to do it.
Yeah, they're as close, if not closer, than your hereditary family. When you can sit in the same room as somebody and say that you'd lay your life down for them, it's a pretty big deal.
Now, I'll tell you the reason these men chose this line of work coming up tomorrow on Today in St. Louis.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Great stories there.
Really looking forward to it.